Transform your life with Stoic wisdom. Break free from 7 toxic habits. Are you ready to unleash your inner strength? Hey there, friend. Let's have a heart-to-heart about something that could truly shift the way you see yourself. Have you ever felt like there's a stronger, more confident version of you just waiting to break free? Deep down, you know you're capable of so much more. Whether it's chasing your dreams, standing tall in tough moments, or simply feeling at peace with who you are. But something's holding you back, isn't it? Maybe you're feeling stuck in a rut, frustrated by the same old patterns, or even a little defeated by life's challenges. I get it. We've all been there at some point. Those feelings can weigh heavily, making you question your potential. But what if I told you that the only thing standing between the you of today and the unstoppable, stoic, powerful you of tomorrow is a handful of habits? Habits that you can break, starting right now, to unlock a version of yourself you've always known was there. I'm talking about 7 anti-stoic habits that are quietly sabotaging your life. These aren't the obvious pitfalls you might think of. They're the sneaky, subtle patterns that creep into your daily routine, keeping you feeling weak, overwhelmed, and far from the person you're destined to become. They're the kind of habits that make you second-guess your decisions, drain your mental energy, and leave you feeling like you're just going through the motions. But here's the good news. You have the power to overcome them. And when you do, you'll tap into a source of inner strength that's been inside you all along, waiting to be unleashed. The ancient Stoics, like the wise Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, understood this secret. They lived by principles that allowed them to face life's chaos with calm, clarity, and unshakable resolve. Today, I'm going to share their timeless wisdom with you, tailored to the modern world, so you can start building the life you deserve. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a warm cup of tea or coffee, and let's dive into this transformative journey together. We're going to explore these 7 habits in detail, breaking them down one by one to understand how they're holding you back. More importantly, we'll discover how to replace them with practices rooted in Stoic wisdom, practices that will help you cultivate resilience, focus, and a deep sense of inner peace. Imagine waking up each day feeling grounded, confident, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. That, as the power of shedding these anti-stoic habits and embracing a mindset that has been proven to withstand the test of time. Whether you're dealing with stress at work, struggling to stay disciplined, or simply searching for a way to feel more in control of your life, this journey is for you. As we go through each habit, I'll share practical steps you can take to start making changes right away. We'll talk about how to stop letting external circumstances dictate your emotions, how to break free from the cycle of overthinking, and how to build a daily routine that aligns with your highest values. You'll learn how to channel the Stoic principle of focusing only on what you can control, letting go of the rest with a sense of freedom you might not have felt in years. By the end of this, you'll have a clear roadmap to becoming a rock-solid, unshakable version of yourself, one who can face life's challenges with the calm confidence of a true Stoic. And here's a little extra motivation to keep you engaged. Stick around until the end, because I've got a special announcement for our Stoic community that you want to miss. It's something exciting that I think you'll love, and it's designed to help you take your growth to the next level. So let's get started on this path to self-mastery. Your stronger, wiser self is waiting. The Spark of Transformation. A Tale of Two Selves. Let's begin with a little story to set the stage for this transformative journey. Picture a man sitting alone in a dimly lit room, the shadows stretching across the walls as if mirroring his inner turmoil. His shoulders are slumped, his eyes heavy with a deep, unspoken sadness that seems to weigh him down. He feels weak, as though life has become an overwhelming burden he can't carry any longer. Every day feels like a battle he's steadily losing, and what's worse, he doesn't even know why he's stuck in this cycle. The world around him feels chaotic, unpredictable, and beyond his control, leaving him drained and defeated. Now, let's shift the scene entirely. Imagine the same man, but this time he's standing tall, his posture radiating strength and poise. His gaze is steady and unyielding, his expression calm and confident, as if nothing in the world could shake him. You'd be forgiven for thinking these are two different people, right? But they're not. They're the same man, transformed by a single, powerful shift. The difference? One version of him is trapped by 7 anti-Stoic habits that sap his vitality, while the other has broken free, stepping into a life of resilience and purpose. That's the incredible power of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers from Rome and Greece, believed that each of us carries a wellspring of inner strength, a resource we can draw upon no matter the circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, captured this beautifully when he wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." His words remind us that the power to transform our lives isn't something we need to seek outside ourselves. It's already within us, waiting to be tapped. This philosophy, born from the minds of thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus, teaches that our reactions to life's challenges, not the challenges themselves, define who we are. But to access that inner strength, we must first let go of the habits that are holding us back, quietly eroding our potential day by day. So, what are these habits that keep us tethered to that dim, defeated version of ourselves? They're not always the dramatic, obvious mistakes we might expect. They're the subtle, insidious patterns we fall into without even realizing how much damage they're causing. These are the behaviors that keep us stuck in a cycle of frustration, worry, and self-doubt, preventing us from stepping into the confident, unshakable person we're meant to be. They might show up as endless overthinking, a tendency to complain about things beyond our control, or a habit of avoiding discomfort instead of facing it head-on. Whatever form they take, they act like invisible chains, keeping us from reaching our full potential. But don't worry, I'm not just going to list them and leave you hanging, wondering what to do next. We're going to dig deep into each one, exploring why it is so toxic to our growth and how it undermines the Stoic ideals of resilience and self-mastery. This journey is about more than just identifying these habits. It is about breaking them down and figuring out how to kick them to the curb for good. We'll look at practical, actionable steps you can take to replace each one with a Stoic-inspired practice that builds your inner fortitude. Imagine shedding that heavy weight of negativity and stepping into a version of yourself who faces each day with clarity and courage. By the end of this exploration, you'll feel like you've unlocked a new level of strength, one that allows you to weather life's storms with the calm dignity of a true Stoic. Whether you're struggling with stress, seeking more discipline, or simply yearning for a sense of control, this process will guide you toward that transformation. So, are you ready to dive in? Let's start with the first habit, peeling back the layers to reveal how it has been holding you back, and how you can begin to let it go. This is your chance to step into that strong, steady version of yourself, and I'm excited to guide you every step of the way. Fearing change, and why you should embrace it. Okay, let us talk about the first habit that's keeping you from stepping into your best self. The fear of change. You know that feeling all too well, don't you? It's that uneasy knot in your stomach when your favorite TV show drops a new season, and you're sitting there, hesitant, wondering if it'll live up to the last one or if it'll disappoint you entirely. Or maybe it's the moment you're offered a new job, a chance to grow, but the thought of leaving your comfortable routine sends your mind into a spiral of anxiety. That's fear of change in action, and it's a big one. It's a subtle yet powerful force that can hold you back from embracing the unknown, keeping you tethered to the familiar, even when it no longer serves you. This habit sneaks into your life, whispering doubts and making you cling to the status quo, even when deep down you know it's time to move forward. The Stoics, however, had a radically different approach to change. These ancient philosophers from Rome and Greece saw life as an ever-shifting, flowing process. much like a river that never stops moving, carving new paths through the landscape. They believed that if you can learn to go with the flow, adapting to life's constant evolution, you'll maintain your composure no matter what challenges come your way. Think of it like upgrading to a new phone. At first, it feels awkward and unfamiliar. You're fumbling with the new interface, missing the old setup you knew by heart. But then, as you explore, you realize this new device has a better camera, faster apps, and a host of cool features you didn't even know you needed. Change can be like that. It might feel uncomfortable and disorienting at the outset, but with an open mind, it often leads to something better, opening doors to growth and opportunity you might not have imagined. Here's the reality. Life is always changing. It's a dynamic force with its own moods, twists, and surprises, much like a story that refuses to stay still. One day you're cruising along, everything feels stable and predictable, and the next, bam, something unexpected happens to shake things up. Maybe you lose a job, a relationship takes an unforeseen turn, or you're faced with the prospect of moving to a new city where everything feels unfamiliar. If you let fear pin you down, resisting every shift with all your might, you'll miss out on the opportunities that change can bring. The Stoics would encourage you to shift your perspective. Don't fight it. Embrace it. They saw every change as a new scene in the grand movie of your life. Sometimes it's an action-packed adventure, sometimes a quiet drama, but it's always exciting if you choose to let it be. By accepting change as a natural part of existence, you can transform it from a source of dread into a catalyst for personal evolution. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the most revered Stoic thinkers, had this approach mastered to an art form. He faced constant upheaval, wars, political intrigue, and personal loss, yet he met each day with a steady heart. He once wrote, "What am I going to do about tomorrow? I will meet it with the same weapons that I met today." That's the essence of the Stoic mindset, to face every day, every change, with courage and preparedness. His weapons were not swords or shields, but the inner tools of resilience, self-awareness, and acceptance. By adopting this philosophy, you too can approach change not as a threat, but as a chance to refine your character and strengthen your resolve. It's about building a mental fortress that stands firm, no matter how the winds of life shift. So let us put on our armor of bravery and let change be the wind that lifts us up, not the storm that knocks us down. The next time you feel that fear creeping in, take a deep breath and pause. Ask yourself, what's the opportunity here? Is it a chance to learn a new skill, meet new people, or discover a hidden strength? You'll be amazed at how much lighter you feel when you reframe change as an ally rather than an enemy. This is the first step toward breaking free from that fear and stepping into a more confident, adaptable version of yourself, one who thrives in the face of life's constant motion. Worrying about the trivial and how to focus on what matters. Now, let S move on to the second habit, that S quietly undermining your path to becoming your best self, worrying about the trivial. Take a moment to reflect. How much time do you spend stressing over things that, when you really step back, just don't matter in the grand scheme of life? Think about those moments when you're stuck in traffic, fuming for hours, replaying the frustration in your mind long after you've reached your destination. Or perhaps you found yourself obsessing over a tiny scratch on your phone screen, as if it's a personal affront to your entire day. It's like fixating on a speck of dust on your shoe. It's so small, so utterly irrelevant in the bigger picture, but somehow it consumes all your mental space, leaving you drained and distracted from what truly deserves your attention. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers whose wisdom still resonates today, had a brilliant way of dealing with this tendency. They taught us to train our minds to distinguish between what's truly important and what's unimportant, urging us to develop a sense of perspective that keeps us grounded. They'd say, zoom out, look at the bigger picture. If something isn't going to matter in a week, a month, or a year, why are you letting it steal your peace right now? Imagine you're an artist painting the canvas of your life with a limited palette of time and energy. Why waste your vibrant colors on tiny, meaningless worries when you could be creating a masterpiece with bold strokes of focus, purpose, and joy? The Stoics believe that by redirecting our attention to what truly matters, we can cultivate a sense of inner calm that allows us to live more fully in alignment with our values. Here is a practical trick the Stoics often use to break this habit. When you catch yourself spiraling into worry, pause and ask yourself, is this really necessary? Is this small annoyance worth the mental energy you're giving it? If the answer is no, and it often will be, let it go. Picture those trivial worries as leaves caught in a gentle breeze, drifting away from you effortlessly. Instead, keep your eyes on the prize, focusing on the big stuff that truly shapes your life, like your long-term goals, the relationships that bring you joy and support, or the kind of person you aspire to be. Life is too short and too precious to get tangled up in the web of the irrelevant, caught in cycles of stress over things that, in the end, won't even make a footnote in your story. Let me give you a concrete example to illustrate this. Imagine you're running late for a meeting because of an unexpected traffic jam. You're sitting there, gripping the steering wheel tightly, your stress levels rising as you imagine all the worst-case scenarios, your boss's disapproval, a missed opportunity, or a ruined impression. Your mind spirals and the frustration builds. But what would a Stoic do in this situation? They'd take a deep breath, acknowledge the reality of the traffic, and accept it for what it is, a circumstance beyond their control. Then they'd shift their focus to what they can control, how they'll handle the meeting once they arrive, perhaps preparing mentally to make a strong impression despite the delay. They wouldn't waste their energy on something as fleeting and trivial as a traffic jam, recognizing that such moments are mere blips in the broader arc of their life. And neither should you. This Stoic approach is about reclaiming your mental clarity and redirecting your energy toward what truly counts. It's about brushing off those trivial worries that clutter your mind and weigh you down, freeing yourself to pursue what aligns with your deeper purpose. By practicing this habit of discernment, you'll find yourself more present, more focused, and better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace. So the next time you feel yourself getting caught up in the small stuff, take a step back, reassess, and let those worries drift away like leaves in the wind. Keep your focus on the masterpiece you're repainting, the life you're rebuilding, and let the trivial fade into the background where it belongs. Seeking revenge and why it's a dead-end road. All right, let us dive into the third habit that's holding you back from reaching your fullest potential. Seeking revenge. Picture this scenario. You're nestled in a cozy little cafe, lost in the pages of your favorite book, completely immersed in the world of words and imagination. You're in the zone, savoring every moment, when suddenly someone accidentally bumps into your table, sending their coffee spilling across your precious book. The pages are soaked, the ink blurring into an unreadable mess, and a surge of anger rises within you. You re-mad. Your first instinct might be to snap at them with a sharp retort, or perhaps even to spill something on them in return as a petty act of retribution. That's the urge for revenge talking, a natural reaction that flares up when we feel violated or wronged. We want to even the score, to restore some sense of justice in our minds. But let's take a step back and consider what the Stoics, those wise philosophers of old, would advise in this moment. The Stoics would tell you that seeking revenge is like adding more sugar to an already overly sweet drink. It is unnecessary, unhealthy, and only makes the situation worse. When you chase after revenge, the only thing you're truly feeding is your ego, that part of you that craves validation and dominance. And trust me, your ego doesn't need any more junk food to grow out of control. Instead, let's nourish ourselves with the healthy, sustaining stuff, like understanding, compassion, and self-improvement. Revenge might offer a fleeting sense of satisfaction, a momentary high as you imagine putting the other person in their place, but it's ultimately like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, expending all your energy, feeling exhausted and worn out, yet you're not actually getting anywhere. All that effort you're pouring into getting even could be redirected towards soaring ahead in life, building something meaningful instead of tearing something down. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a towering figure in Stoic philosophy, had a brilliant and insightful take on this very issue. He once said, "The best revenge is to not be like them." Let that sink in for a moment. If someone wrongs you, whether it's a spilled coffee, a harsh word, or a deeper betrayal, and you respond with anger, spite, or a desire to retaliate, you're lowering yourself to their level. You're allowing their actions to dictate how you feel and act, handing over your peace of mind to someone else's behavior. But if you rise above it, if you choose to protect your inner calm, focus on your own growth, and let go of the need to strike back, you're reclaiming control over your life. That is the essence of the Stoic way. It's about cultivating inner resilience and strength rather than getting entangled in external conflicts that serve no purpose beyond momentary gratification. By refusing to stoop to vengeful impulses, you assert your autonomy and demonstrate a higher form of victory. So the next time you feel that urge to get even bubbling up inside you, pause for a moment. Take a deep, steadying breath to center yourself and clear your mind. Ask yourself a couple of key questions. Is this worth my energy? Is this worth sacrificing my peace? Chances are the answer will be a resounding no. That spilled coffee, that rude comment, that minor slight, none of it deserves to rent space in your head or dictate your actions. Let's channel that energy into something far better, something that lifts you up rather than drags you down. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, someone who grows stronger with every challenge, who turns adversity into an opportunity for self-mastery. That's the kind of victory that truly matters, a triumph that echoes through your life long after the moment of conflict has faded. By letting go of revenge, you free yourself to pursue a path of purpose and tranquility, embodying the Stoic ideal of living with dignity and grace, wasting time, and how to make every moment count. Now let S move on to the fourth habit that S quietly holding you back from living your best life, wasting time. This one hits hard, doesn't it? We all feel the sting of lost moments when we reflect on how we spent our days. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca captured this perfectly when he wrote, "We complain that our days are few, but act as if they were infinite." That's a wake-up call that cuts straight to the core. Think about those times when you've sat down to binge-watch an entire season of a show, losing yourself in episode after episode, only to look at the clock and realize hours have slipped away like they were nothing. You're left with that sinking feeling, wondering, where did the time go? It is a moment of clarity that reminds us how easy it is to let time slip through our fingers, often on things that don't truly enrich our lives. Here's the stark truth we need to face. Our time on this earth is limited. It's fleeting, like a Snapchat story that disappears after a brief moment, leaving no trace behind. So why are we spending it on things that don't matter in the grand scheme of our existence? Why do we waste precious minutes searching for the remote control, or worse, scrolling endlessly through social media, when we could be out there creating lasting memories, laughing with loved ones, or chasing the dreams that set our hearts on fire? Your time is your most precious treasure, a finite resource that you can never replenish once it's gone. The Stoics understood this deeply, and they would urge us to stop burying this treasure under the rubble of procrastination, distractions, and meaningless activities that fail to bring us closer to the life we want to lead. The Stoic philosophy calls us to live with intention, to move beyond merely existing, and to truly live in a way that aligns with our deepest values. It's about prioritizing the things that resonate with your soul, the pursuits that bring you genuine fulfillment and joy. Maybe that's carving out quality time to spend with your family, where you can share laughter and make memories that you'll cherish for years to come. Perhaps it's dedicating yourself to a passion project that lights up your spirit, whether that's writing a book, painting, or learning a new skill. Or maybe it is finally taking the first step toward a goal you've been putting off for too long, like starting a business or training for that marathon you've always wanted to run. Whatever it is, the Stoics would encourage you to make it count. Today is your chance to be awesome, to live fully and purposefully, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. We must stop treating our days as if they are infinite and start recognizing them as the rare, beautiful gifts they are, each one an opportunity to shape a life of meaning. Here is a little challenge to help you break this habit and reclaim your time. The next time you catch yourself wasting precious moments, perhaps scrolling aimlessly on your phone, getting lost in a loop of videos or posts that add nothing to your life, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this how I want to spend my precious moments? If the answer is no, and it likely will be, put the phone down and choose something that truly lights you up. Maybe it's calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, feeling the warmth of their voice as you reconnect. Perhaps it's stepping outside for a walk, letting the fresh air clear your mind and invigorate your body. Or maybe it's finally starting that project you've been dreaming about, taking the first step toward a goal that excites you. The point is to make every second count, to fill your days with actions that contribute to a life you're proud of. By living with this kind of intention, you'll find yourself building a legacy of purpose and joy, one meaningful moment at a time, seeking external approval and finding strength within. Let's dive into the fifth habit that's keeping you from becoming your truest, most resilient self, seeking external approval. This one's a biggie, and it's something we've all fallen into at some point in our lives. Think about those moments when you're fishing for likes on social media, anxiously waiting for someone to tell you that you're doing a good job, or tying your happiness to what other people think of you. It's such a common trap, looking to others to validate your worth, as if their opinions hold the key to your self-esteem. But here's the problem. When you seek validation from the outside world, it's like handing over the remote control of your happiness to someone else. You're giving them the power to decide how you feel about yourself, and that's a dangerous game to play. Your sense of worth becomes dependent on fleeting, unpredictable factors, someone's mood, their biases, or even their attention span, and that leaves you vulnerable to constant ups and downs. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers whose wisdom remains so relevant, had a powerful concept to counter this habit, and it's one of my favorites. The inner citadel. Picture it as a fortress within you, a sacred, impregnable space that remains untouchable by external opinions, events, or judgments. The Stoics believed that your true worth, your genuine happiness, doesn't come from the applause of the crowd or the approval of others. It comes from within this inner citadel. It's not about what other people think of you, but about what you know to be true about yourself. Your values, your purpose, your inner strength, these are the foundations of your self-worth, and they're rooted deep within you, unshaken by the shifting winds of external validation. The Stoics taught that by focusing on this inner sanctuary, you can cultivate a sense, a stability, and peace that no outside force can disrupt. Let me break it down with a relatable example. Imagine you post a photo on social media, a snapshot of a moment that brought you joy, maybe a picture of you laughing with friends or enjoying a beautiful sunset. But instead of simply appreciating the memory, you find yourself refreshing the app every 5 minutes, waiting for those likes and comments to roll in. If you don't get the response you were hoping for, you feel crushed, as if the lack of likes somehow diminishes the value of that moment, or worse, your own worth. But if the post does well, you feel on top of the world, elated by the validation, until the next post, when the cycle starts all over again. That's what seeking external approval does. It puts your self-worth on an emotional roller coaster where your happiness is dictated by factors you can't control. Now imagine a different scenario. You post that same photo, but this time you don't care about the likes. You shared it because it made you happy, because it captured a moment you loved and wanted to remember. That's the inner citadel at work. You're grounded in your own sense of worth, unshaken by what anyone else might think or say. The Stoics would urge you to nurture and protect this inner sanctuary at all costs. Build it up, fortify it, and make it the center of your self-perception. This isn't AT about ego or thinking you are better than anyone else. It's about knowing who you are at your core and standing firm in that truth, regardless of external noise. When you live in alignment with your own values, when you measure your worth by your own standards rather than the fickle opinions of others, you'll discover a kind of peace and confidence that no amount of external praise can ever provide. It's a deep, unshakable contentment that comes from within, a foundation that keeps you steady no matter the circumstances. So let's toss that fishing rod away and stop looking for approval from the outside world. Your happiness, your worth, it's all inside you, waiting to be claimed. Let's start building that inner citadel, brick by brick, and let it guide our journey toward a life of true self-assurance and fulfillment. Looking for problems and choosing positivity instead. Now, let us tackle the sixth habit that's subtly undermining your ability to thrive. Looking for problems. This one is sneaky because we often done to even realize we were caught in its grip. It's like playing the role of a detective in your own life, tirelessly searching for things to worry about even when everything around you seems to be going just fine. Maybe you find yourself lying in bed at night, replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, dissecting every word to wonder if you said something wrong or if you offended someone unintentionally. Or perhaps you're constantly bracing for the worst, as if you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, anticipating disaster around every corner. It is akin to searching for ghosts under your bed with a flashlight. There is nothing tangible there to find, yet you keep looking, shining that beam of anxiety into the darkness of your own mind. The Stoics would gently advise you to switch off that flashlight. Why waste your precious energy and mental resources focusing on the negative when you could be basking in the sunshine of the positive aspects of your life? Life is undeniably a journey with its ups and downs, a natural rhythm of challenges and triumphs. But if you're always looking for problems, it's like riding the downward escalator forever. You become stuck in a relentless loop of negativity, where every thought pulls you deeper into a mindset of dread and discontent. In the process, you're missing out on all the good stuff, the moments of joy, the opportunities for growth, and the beauty that surrounds you every day. The Stoics understood that our minds have a tendency to fixate on what's wrong, but they encouraged us to train ourselves to look beyond that, to seek a broader, more balanced perspective. Here's a better way to approach life. Be the captain of your own ship. Take the helm and navigate through the storms with resilience and determination, steering yourself into the calm waters of opportunity and happiness that await on the other side. You hold the power to choose where you direct your energy, what thoughts you entertain, and what aspects of your life you give your attention to. So why not focus on the things that light you up? The people who make you smile, the passions that give you hope, the small victories that remind you how beautiful and rewarding life can be. By shifting your focus from problems to possibilities, you transform your mindset from one of limitation to one of abundance, opening yourself up to a world of potential that you might otherwise overlook. Let me give you a practical example to illustrate this shift. Imagine you've had a rough day at work. You made a mistake on a project, and your boss called you out on it in front of your team. If you're in the habit of looking for problems, you might spend the entire evening obsessing over that mistake, replaying the scene in your head, beating yourself up with self-criticism, and wondering if you're on the verge of getting fired. Your mind becomes a battlefield of doubt and fear, draining your energy and robbing you of peace. But if you choose to shift your focus, you can reframe the situation entirely. You might realize that this mistake is actually a chance to learn and grow. You can ask yourself, what can I do better next time? Or, how can I turn this into an opportunity to improve my skills? That's the Stoic way, focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on problems, turning a challenge into a stepping stone toward personal development. By embracing this mindset, you reclaim your power and use the experience to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. So let us make a promise to ourselves right now. No more chasing phantoms or dwelling on imaginary threats. Let's turn our life's journey into a treasure hunt instead, seeking out the good, the beautiful, and the meaningful in every day. You hold the compass and the map in your hands. Where do you want to go next? Let's guide ourselves toward a life filled with purpose, where every moment is an opportunity to discover something valuable, and where the light of positivity guides our way forward. Complaining and turning challenges into opportunities. All right, we've made it to the seventh and final habit that's been holding you back from your fullest potential. Complaining. This one's a tough one to break because it feels so instinctive, almost second nature. When something goes wrong in our lives, our first impulse is often to grumble about it, letting out a stream of frustration to vent our displeasure. Picture this. It's the day of your long-planned picnic, and the skies open up with rain, washing away your outdoor fun. Your immediate reaction might be to sigh and mutter, "Ugh, why does this always happen to me?" Or maybe your flight gets delayed, leaving you stranded at the airport, and you think, "Great, just my luck. Everything's going wrong again." But here's what the Stoics, those wise philosophers of resilience, would say. Complaining is like yelling at the rain to stop. It doesn't change a single thing about the situation. It just amplifies your misery, keeping you trapped in a cycle of negativity that serves no purpose. Instead, the Stoics would encourage you to dance in the rain, to make the most of the situation no matter how it unfolds. They understood that life is an intricate origami, a complex creation that wants to be undone by our complaints. It is going to keep being what it is, with its twists and turns, highs and lows. So, rather than resisting the inevitable, let's embrace it. Let's learn from it, adapting to the circumstances with grace and turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor whose words still resonate, put it perfectly when he said, "Why should we feel anger at the world as if the world would notice? The world doesn't pause to listen to your complaints. It remains indifferent to your grumbling, but you do feel the weight of it." Complaining drags you down, keeps you stuck in a rut, and steals the joy that could be yours if you chose a different path. Here's a better approach to break free from this habit. Let us turn our complaints into action and transform our hardships into stepping stones toward a stronger self. Instead of letting challenges pull us into a pit of despair, let's bounce back up like a basketball, resilient and ready to move forward. Take that delayed flight, for example. You're stuck at the airport for hours, a situation ripe for frustration. You could spend that time complaining under your breath, scrolling aimlessly through your phone, letting your irritation grow with every passing minute. Or you could see it as an unexpected opportunity. Maybe you pull out a book you've been meaning to read, losing yourself in its pages and gaining new insights. Perhaps you strike up a conversation with a stranger sitting nearby, turning a dull wait into a chance to make a new friend or hear an interesting story. Or maybe you simply take a moment to breathe deeply, to reflect on your day, and to be still, finding a rare pocket of peace amid the chaos. That's the Stoic way, finding the silver lining even in the toughest moments and using it to fuel your growth rather than your discontent. So let's make a conscious choice to trade our complaints for compliments, to shift our focus from problems to solutions. Let us kick this habit to the curb once and for all and watch ourselves transform into a powerhouse of positivity, strength, and resilience. Imagine the freedom of letting go of that constant need to grumble, replacing it with a mindset that seeks to adapt and overcome. Every time you catch yourself about to complain, pause and ask, "What can I do with this?" Turn that rainy picnic day into an indoor game night with loved ones, or use that flight delay to plan your next big adventure. You've got the power within you to reshape your experience, to rise above the noise and embrace life's challenges with a stoic heart. You've got this. Let's step into that strength and build a life where every moment, even the difficult ones, becomes a testament to your resilience and joy. A special announcement. Join our Stoic community. Before we wrap up, I've got something exciting to share with you that I think will take your journey into Stoic wisdom to new heights. If you've been inspired by the insights we've explored together, the power of letting go of fear, trivial worries, revenge-wasted time, external approval problem-seeking and complaining, and I sincerely hope you have, then I've got the perfect next step to keep this momentum going. We've just launched a Telegram group, created exclusively for our growing Stoic community. This is more than just a group. It's a vibrant, supportive space where we can come together, dive deeper into the timeless teachings of Stoicism, and encourage each other on this transformative path of self-discovery, resilience, and inner peace. It asks an opportunity to connect with others who share your passion and to build a collective strength that will carry us all forward. In this Telegram group, you'll find a community of like-minded individuals who are just as dedicated to personal growth and the Stoic way of life as you are. This isn't just about reading quotes or nodding along. It asks about actively engaging with the principles that can reshape our lives. We'll share insights drawn from the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, breaking down how their wisdom applies to our modern challenges. Whether it's discussing how to stay calm in a hectic workday, supporting each other through tough decisions, or celebrating small victories in our journey toward resilience, this group will be a haven for meaningful conversation and mutual encouragement. It's a place where we can walk the path of Stoicism together, learning from one another's experiences and evolving every single day into the best versions of ourselves. Imagine the strength you'll gain from knowing you're not alone, that there are others out there striving for the same inner fortitude and peace. This community is designed to be a resource for all of us, a living extension of the ideas we've explored. We'll have opportunities to ask questions, share personal stories of how Stoic principles have helped us overcome obstacles, and offer practical advice on applying these teachings in real-life situations. Maybe you'll post about how you turned a delayed flight into a moment of reflection, or someone else will share how they let go of seeking approval and found a new sense of self-worth. Together, we'll create a space where every member's journey adds to the collective wisdom, making us all stronger. It acts also a chance to hold each other accountable, gently reminding one another to stay focused on what we can control, to build that inner citadel, and to dance in the rain when life throws challenges our way. The energy of this group will be one of positivity, growth, and unwavering support, fostering a sense of belonging that amplifies our individual efforts. So, if you're ready to take your Stoic journey to the next level, I warmly invite you to join us in this Telegram group. This is your chance to deepen your understanding, connect with a tribe of fellow travelers, and continue building the resilient, purposeful life you deserve. Whether you're a beginner just starting to explore Stoicism or someone who has been practicing these principles for a while, there's a place for you here. We're all in this together, learning and growing side by side. The link to join is conveniently located in the description and the pinned comment below, so you can jump in with ease. I can't wait to see you there, to welcome you into this community, and to embark on this next chapter of our Stoic adventure together. Your presence will make it even richer, and I'm excited to see how we'll inspire each other to live with intention, strength, and grace. Let's make this a space where we not only talk about Stoicism, but live it day by day, step by step. Let's keep growing together. Wow. What an incredible journey we've been on together, diving deep into the heart of Stoic wisdom to uncover the habits that hold us back and the tools to rise above them. We've explored 7 anti-Stoic habits that can quietly sabotage our lives: fearing change, worrying about the trivial, seeking revenge, wasting time, seeking external approval, looking for problems, and complaining. With each habit, we've peeled back the layers to understand how it keeps us stuck, and more importantly, we've discovered how to break free from its grip. We've replaced those toxic patterns with the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, drawing inspiration from thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Now you are re-equipped with practical strategies to tap into that deep source of strength within you, a strength that has always been there, waiting for you to claim it. By letting go of these habits, you're paving the way to become the strong, stoic, and confident person you're truly meant to be. Someone who faces life's challenges with calm resolve and unshakable purpose. But this journey isn't just about learning. It's about applying these lessons and growing together as a community. So let's get interactive and make this a two-way conversation. I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 habits struck a chord with you the most? Was it the fear of change, that anxiety that keeps you clinging to the familiar even when you know it's time to move forward? Or perhaps it was the habit of complaining, that natural tendency to grumble about life's inconveniences instead of finding the silver lining. Maybe another habit, like seeking external approval or wasting time, hit close to home, shining a light on patterns you're ready to change. Or, if you've already been practicing Stoic principles in your own life, perhaps you have some wisdom of your own to share, a personal story, a favorite Stoic quote, or a strategy that's helped you stay grounded. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd genuinely love to hear from you. Sharing your reflections is the first step toward meaningful change, and we're all here to support each other on this path of growth and self-discovery. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've gained. By addressing these habits, you've learned how to embrace change as an opportunity for growth, to let go of trivial worries that clutter your mind, and to rise above the urge for revenge, choosing inner peace instead. You've discovered the importance of valuing your time, seeking validation from within your own inner citadel, focusing on solutions rather than problems, and transforming complaints into constructive action. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical tools you can carry with you every day, helping you navigate life's uncertainties with the steady hand of a true Stoic. You're building a foundation of resilience that will serve you in every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your personal goals, allowing you to live with intention and clarity. If you found value in this exploration of Stoic wisdom, I'd love for you to show some support by giving this video a thumbs up. It is a small gesture that helps spread these insights to others who might need them. And if you're hungry for more Stoic lessons, practical tips, and inspiration to keep growing, hit that subscribe button to join our community. We're on this journey together, learning and evolving with every step. And I'd love for you to be a part of it. Let's keep the momentum going, supporting each other as we strive to live more purposeful, grounded lives. Until next time, keep the vibes high and the worries low, embracing each moment with the strength and serenity of a Stoic. Stay awesome, stay Stoic, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue to explore how to live a life of wisdom and resilience.